Welcome back to Under Oath. Today we have film and television producer Jerry Bruckheimer. Jerry, can you hear me?
I hear you perfect, Jeff.
I took 16 people to your movie Tuesday night,
Oh, I
and
love you. Thank you.
the ages went from 15 to 60. And at the end of the movie, all of them were stunned. They couldn't stop talking about everything that was perfect, the acting, the music, the cinematography. I mean, you put a dream team together for this movie.
Well, it's the same team that did Top Gun Maverick. So if you like that movie, you got to love this one. We have Brad Pitt in this one. Tom, of course, was busy doing Mission Impossibles, but Brad is the first actor we went to, and he rides motorcycles and loves speed. So he was the perfect actor to put in these cars. But they actually drove these cars. We trained him for 4 months to be able to get in these F1 cars. So it was a grueling process. They were going 180 miles an hour and then breaking down to 50 coming into those turns. So it took an enormous amount of skill. But since Lewis Hamilton, who's a seven-time world champion, was one of the producers with us, he made sure it was honest and true.
Now, this movie was shot between 23 and 24 at actual F1 sites.
Exactly. We went to 10 different races. One was Daytona, and the rest were F1 races.
I mean that's insane. I mean, I watched it, I could not believe how well done this was. And I've seen so many of your movies, and I've loved them for years. But I mean everything. And I don't want to. I'm not spoiling anything, but there's a scene where there's no sound, and I can tell you that that was the biggest statement made by anybody walking out of that theater, that they couldn't breathe during that moment.
Yeah, it's really immersive. It's got a phenomenal soundtrack, and Doja Cat and Chris Stapleton and just it goes on and on. And Hans Zimmer, who's an amazing composer, maybe the greatest living composer, did the score for this. So you have the sounds of these cars, and I mean, Lewis Hamilton was so involved. When we were looking at a cut of the movie, he said, well, in Silverstone, you're going into turn 3, and I hear you're in third gear. I'd be in second gear. So we had to change it. He said, on turn 5, you can't pass. If you pass, there's an accident. We used it. We had an accident on turn 5. So it's so authentic and real, but it's always about the emotion and the story. And that's what's so great about this movie. It's funny, it's romantic, it's all the things that I want to go to the cinema and see it on the biggest screen possible.
Now, what blows my mind is I can't imagine how many scripts hit your table on a daily basis. And for you to go, you know what? I'm interested in this. I want to commit a year or two of my life to this. How do you even choose something like that?
Do I want to see it? It's real simple. I don't know what you like. I don't know what an audience likes, but I know what I like. And if there's something that crosses my desk or an idea or whatever, wherever it comes from, if that's something I pay money to go see, that's what I try to make.
So it's completely selfish. You're going, if I love it, I'm doing it.
Because I can't guess what an audience wants. I can't guess what you want. I just know what I like. And someday what I like, nobody else will like. But so far, I've been really lucky.
I mean, I'm just blown away by your body of work. I mean, there's been so many great movies over the years. And, do you ever say to yourself, I really wanted to make this movie. I haven't made it yet. I mean, is there anything on the table like that?
Sure, there's a bunch of them. We're prepping a bunch of movies right now that we're working on screenplays for, and so hopefully we'll get them to the big screen. But right now, I'm happy with the one that's in the theaters, so I got to focus on that for a minute.
Yeah, it's always weird for me because I also write comic books and I produce comic books. And when I'm out on the road selling one book that I wrote or created like a year ago, and I have 10 other things that I'm working on right now, how hard is it to focus on the promotion in comparison to the next project you're working on?
Well, you have to promote your movies. You work so hard to make them, you got to go out and sell them. That's really important. And that's what I do. I go out and try to sell our movies. I don't do it for myself. I don't promote anything when we're not promoting a movie. I stay away, just focus on the work. It's always about the work. The way I look at it, the harder I work, the luckier I get. And that's, look, it's a number one movie. We worked really hard making it. We're working hard promoting it. Brad's gone to Japan. He's gone all. He was in London. He was in New York. He's really working hard to promote this movie. He loves it. He had a great experience. He drove those cars. He trained to drive them. They had a blast. The saddest day for him was when we were in Abu Dhabi and he did his last lap and climbed out of the car. That was my happiest day. We got everybody safe and we were very fortunate.
How scary is that? Because there are movies like Tom has done a bunch of movies where he got hurt and he was out for a month or two at a time. And you're sitting there and you got your star in this car knowing that a single mistake could end a multi-$100 million production. I mean, I can't imagine. What does it take to deal with that?
Well, you got to prepare for it. In other words, we make sure that whatever we do is really, they're really prepared. Tom does the same thing. They rehearse things over and over and over before they even get up in the air or in the car. Same thing with Brad. They work so hard to train to be able to be really proficient in these cars. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew what the car could do. They knew when they had to brake. They were really, really gifted. And I wouldn't do it any other way. I wouldn't let an actor climb in a car and spend a week and then, thinks he knows how to drive it. It took 4 months.
Now, this is a big weekend. The July 4th weekend's coming up. The last weekend it came out. I mean, there's so much competition around, and you've been doing this for so many years. I mean, is there any angst as far, okay, we're going to set this for this weekend because but there's going to be a lot of competition.
Yeah, look, it's always about the movie. We've been very fortunate because the movies we've made really entertain audiences. And this one is from 8 to 80. So this movie is something that I know, at least in our test audiences, they loved it. And our cinema score, our Rotten Tomato score for an audience is 97. I don't know how much higher you can get.
No.
So I know the movie delivers for an audience. And it's just we got to go out there and tell people who couldn't care less about racing. It's not about the racing. It's about these characters. And you fall in love with them and you go on a ride with them. It's romantic. It's funny. It's got all the bells and whistles of why I go to the cinema. Phenomenal sound, a great soundtrack. Hans Zimmer did the score. We got Chris Stapleton and Doja Cat and just goes on and on. What a great soundtrack we have.
What was very weird about this is I saw the movie Tuesday. I didn't know I was interviewing you till Wednesday.
Right.
And we walked out of that theater and I knew that I had seen something special in comparison to like the Top Guns and everything else like that. And I mean, I can't even imagine what it's like going, okay, this is my vision. Did I get there?
Well, the audience told us we got there when we previewed the movie. You do a focus group. You take 20 people after they see the movie. And what we did is we did what we call a blind screening. So the audience who came in there had no idea what they're going to see. And the first question was, how many of you are aware of F1? Out of 20 people, one hand went up. Next question was, many of you people are interested in F1? Every hand went up. One lady raised her hand and said, when I heard the name of the movie, I wanted to walk out. I couldn't care less about racing movies. And she said, I've seen the movie, I rated it excellent, I'm telling all my friends to go see it. It's not really about racing, it's the racing world, and we take you inside that world and tell you what it's about. It's a process movie. And in other words, chances are you'll never get a chance to sit in one of these cars and drive them, but we'll give you that experience of what these drivers actually go through.
Now, I've read a bunch of interviews. I did a lot of prep work for it. I've seen all you've been out for. And the one thing that I think that's missing is a master class. I mean, time for you to sit down and share this unbelievable knowledge with so many people because what you've done is amazing. And you can't put it in a book and you can't have somebody say, hey, I want to do a biography of your life and everything else like that. I think this information is so important to filmmakers, to audiences, to people just running their own business. I mean, you've been involved. I mean, you've made economies with your television shows in Miami, all over. I mean, the effect you've had on our planet is pretty severe. And, it'd be great if somebody was out there able to explain this to the world, and this is how I did it.
Well, you know what it is? The key is talented people. That's what it is. We're gathering a lot of talented people. Joe Kosinski, who directed this, is a phenomenal talent. He did Top Gun Maverick. If you like Top Gun Maverick, you're going to love this movie. It's done by the same team, the same writer. And what we try to do is immerse an audience, put them in a world, put them in something that they'll never be a part of. And this world is amazing. These drivers are some of the greatest athletes. There are 10 teams, 2 drivers to each team. And it's the only sport where your teammate is your competitor. Now, if you took these 20 drivers, put them in the same car, they come within a second of each other. That's how gifted they are. The hand-eye coordination is phenomenal. They're going 220 miles an hour, which we have in the movie. We put an iPhone camera in two of the actual cars in 9 races. So you're seeing some footage from the actual drivers going 220 miles an hour. Our Brad only got up to 180 only because the insurance company held us back. But other than that, he just got out of a McLaren car that he drove, I think it was in Austin, that he got up to 197. I mean, he's a gifted driver, so is Damson, because they trained, they worked really hard, and that's really important to make sure that they know what they're doing before those camera rolls. And we had, Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion, who was our producing partner.
I love how you say only 180, Jerry. That's fantastic. He was only going 180 for insurance purposes. If I was the insurance company, I'd be going 110.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe 60. I'd be sweating my ass off with you watching this happen. But you accomplished something, and you've, like with a lot of your fantastic movies, that it's very tough, and you're going, okay, the technology is out there. Can I beat the last movie? Does that even come into mind?
of course, you always want to better yourself. On this movie, the cameras were a third the size of what we had on Top Gun. We created a remote camera, which we didn't have on Top Gun, where you could pan from Brad's face to a car passing him. We put antennas around the track so that we could use it. We had 15 camera angles on the car, 4 at a time. It was harder for them to drive these cars than the actual drivers because they had a camera in their face. And it's just the amazing quality that you get from these cameras. Sony created a special camera. This is IMAX quality that we shot the movie with. So when you're in the theater, you're seeing something really, really special. And the sound's phenomenal. A great soundtrack. Hans Zimmer did the score. It's something that's so immersive, and we have all these terrific acts from Chris Stapleton to Doja Cat to Don Tolliver, and it just goes on and on. Rose and Tate McRae. So we got a #1 album out there too. It's really jumping up on the charts. So not only are you excited by the story and the sound, you're hearing terrific music, and Hans Zimmer, who's maybe the greatest living composer, did the score.
Well, Jerry, I can't tell you how great this has been to have this conversation. I do someday hope that I get to see your master class. And everyone go out, see F1. It was a fantastic movie. And like I said, I took 16 people myself. This wasn't a preview. I paid for it myself, and it was fantastic.
Jeff, we love you. Thank you so much.
Take care.